Gerard Butler is back, baby. Here we go. Hey everyone, welcome to Mr. Teach Film Preach, and if you're a film lover like I am and you learn from films as much as I do, then you are in the right place. And if you're in the right place, click like down below and subscribe to my channel. And while you're down there, comment, what did you think of this movie, Plane? Are you a big Gerard Butler fan? What are some of your favorite films by him? I would love to hear your thoughts and comments down below. And while you're down there, click like and subscribe to my channel for more content. Also, don't forget to hit that bell button to notify you when I've released more videos. Today we're talking about the 2023 action thriller survival film, Plane. Directed by Jean-François Richet. This stars Gerard Butler, Mike Colter. This film is about Captain Brodie Torrance, a commercial airline pilot who saves his passengers from lightning strike mid-flight and is forced to crash land on this war-torn island to find out that surviving the plane crash was only the beginning of their fight for survival. With the help of prisoner passenger Louis Gaspare, the two of them and the rest of the passengers must fight, not just to survive, but to send a message out for help and to stay alive in time for rescue to come.
Who it is? We don't know who it is. Get back!
Listen carefully. This is an emergency. I'm Captain Brodie Torrance.
First of all, this is a action thriller film. I found this to be a really fun, engaging, and exciting thrill ride from start to finish. One of the best parts about this movie is the first 30-40 minutes of the film. We have this kind of slow burn leading up to the plane, and then what happens to the plane, and then actually devastating effects and the real world implications that this movie shows in this story about what it would be like to lose power on a flight across the waters and how scary that would be, and the way that the crew and the pilots and everyone has to deal with this. I thought it was just so well shot and put together. I felt tense the entire time. I felt like I was on the plane with them in this plane crash. So the filmmakers did a great job of putting you in the seat. The audience felt like what the characters were feeling. Made it real world seemingly too. The CGI was actually done really well and wasn't too fake or cheesy. This isn't like an over the top action film or over the top crazy survival film. This is what if this would really happen? And they told the story from that perspective, and I think that was a great decision. Gerard Butler is awesome in this film. Yes, he was the main hero, but he wasn't the badass, kick-ass kind of person that he usually plays in his films. If you look at all these movies recently, The Olympus Has Fallen, and London Has Fallen, and Angel Has Fallen, Den of Thieves, and all these movies, he plays this real kind of hard to kill sort of person, almost like a super agent, almost like a superhero in some ways.
Thank you.
This was a real person, just a pilot in this crazy situation, and has to make all these terrible decisions and be able to try and fix all these problems. And Gerard Butler does a great job of playing this character, and I thought it was nice that he played against type Mike Colter. Luke Cage himself, baby.
Sweet Christmas.
He was awesome in this movie too. I really like Gerard Butler and Mike Colter paired together, on screen together. A good, cool, 30-40 minute duo of the two of them together, kind of on this mission. And he's on this plane because he is a prisoner who's got this military background in the French Foreign Legion, and of course that comes into play with our story. There's a couple of sequences, there's a couple of shots in this film that are absolutely awesome. They're so well done. The fight scenes are really well choreographed. There's this great shot of Gerard Butler and this soldier fighting in this warehouse for almost 2 minutes, and I love that take. Love that they showed them really struggling. It wasn't just two guys who know hand-to-hand combat. It wasn't John Wick. It was two guys in the real world fighting for their lives, and I thought it was a really intense and really well shot scene. There's a couple of great action scenes in this movie. It's not supposed to be this over the top Atomic Blonde action film or John Wick action film. It's quite grounded in realism in a real world scenario. And then there's certain scenes where we see the plane company and the owners and the CEO trying to figure out how to deal with this situation, sending in assets to go help them privately because they're in this war-torn island, and just how they dealt with that problem. So you get to see the survival end, you get to see this personal story of this pilot and this passenger, and then you also get to see the story of this plane company trying to deal with the fallout of this tragic event. I thought it did mesh really well. Some of the writing was a bit shoddy at times, the dialogue was really cheesy at times. that doesn't really fit what the tone of the movie is. A lot happens in this movie. Like, you think about the story that they tell. This movie's only an hour and 45 or an hour and 47 minutes long. I don't say this very often on this channel, but I think this movie could have been a little bit longer, actually. They had a little bit more story to tell, and it felt very rushed, especially at the end. Like, we need to get to this ending and quickly edit, and we're over. And it just felt like, whoa, pump the brakes, you guys. Tell a little bit more of the drama. Show it a bit more. Let us sit in it some more. There's a great scene at the end of the movie, Captain Phillips, which is also kind of a survival hostage situation. And at the end of the movie, Captain Phillips almost having his life taken from him. And then you get to see the aftermath of him. He reacts to what he just went through. And I wanted a bit more of that from Gerard Butler's character, and I wanted to see that a bit more and feel it. And I think if they leaned into the drama of this movie, and instead of telling it just like a straight, pure thriller, action, adrenaline, I think this movie actually would have been a little bit better. It would have been a little more dramatic. It would have had a little bit more weight to it. They edited the crap out of this movie. I feel like a 2-hour runtime would have been perfect to tell this kind of story. I want audiences to gloss over some things so you can be like, yeah, it's just convenient for the story. Don't worry about it. Kept thinking, why don't the bad guys just shoot the tires of the plane so they can't get anywhere?
That's it.
But then why don't they do this? And just, there was a bunch of times where things weren't logically making sense, and that's okay. I'm not saying that all movies need to be this way, but the fact that the tone of this movie and the direction that the director and the writers and the creators went in, it would have made sense for there to have been a lot more logical things happening than what actually ended up happening in this movie. And also, there's a couple of plot lines that don't get fully realized or don't have a full circle or an ending. They just kind of leave things up in the air, and it didn't feel like a movie that needed to do that. In fact, they could have had some resolutions to a lot more of the characters, but it is a fun thrill ride. It is action-packed. It is suspenseful. It's got some great acting. It's a thrill ride. I never was bored in this movie. It's got a nice pace to it, maybe even too much of a pace. Like, they should have dragged some of the dramatic moments out a bit more. This is a really great start to the year, even though January is usually like a dumping month of crappy films. I've already seen Megan and I've seen Plane now, and actually both movies were pretty good. I'm glad that this film didn't go straight to streaming, because it feels like it could be. It feels like one of those movies that could go straight to streaming, and that would have been a shame, because this is one of those movies that it's meant to see in a theater. It's meant to see in a theater with a bunch of people and have a lot of fun, eat some popcorn, and enjoy the ride. So overall, I'm gonna go ahead and give Plane a B+. So what did you think of Plane? And what is also your favorite Gerard Butler film of all time? I'd love to hear your thoughts and comments down below. And while you're down there, click like and subscribe to my channel for more content. Also, don't forget to hit that bell button to notify you when I've released more videos. Thank you so much for checking out Mr. T's Film Preach. Hope y'all had a great time. I know I did. Come back and check out some other videos like Megan, the top 10 films of 2022, and my personal 5 favorite films of 2022 with my special guest, Chad. Have a great day, everyone. Come back and check out some other videos, and we'll see you on the next one. Stay focused, stay awesome, and as always, let's get taught.